guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here. So today I'm going to be filming my June favourites, and this is something that I've started doing every month and I love doing it. This month I have decided that one per category is not enough, so for a few of the categories I've done like a top 3. So I do books, songs, TV show, booktuber, YouTuber and YouTube video. I think I mentioned in last month's that I don't really watch movies, so I've done a YouTube video instead because that's what I generally tend to watch. So let's get started. So the first category is a bit of a spoiler for my June wrap-up, which will be up the next video after this, I believe. And this is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, which is my favourite book of this month. This was my only 5-star read, but then I had a lot of 4-star reads, so look out for that, like I said. This I don't want to talk about too much because obviously it is the 5th book, I believe. Yeah, the 5th book in the Mortal Instruments series. But this is probably my favourite one so far. I predicted at the end of May, when I did my May wrap-up, that this book was going to be very action-packed because I felt like book 4 was a bit of a filler book. And I was right. This one is very, very action-packed. I loved everything about it. There was so much going on. There was a lot of character development with the side characters as well, which I loved. I just thought this was amazing. Again, I can't talk about it too much. It does follow Clary and Jace and a lot of other characters who are shadow hunters, and they basically hunt demons. And yeah, like I said, I love this. The relationships in this were amazing. I love Isabel and Simon and Maya and Jordan and just lots of people. I love them all. So yeah, this is definitely one that I'm glad that I read. So next up is music, and I have 3 particular songs that I've really enjoyed this month. I don't really listen to music other than on Spotify, and they did a summer rewind like playlist that they've just brought out, or like done specifically for individual people. So the first song on mine is one of my favourite songs of this month, and that is Love You More by JLS. Now it is obviously a bit of a throwback because obviously JLS have been split up for ages, but I've always loved JLS. I think they're a great band. They've got great vocals, they're really good dancers, and I mean they look pretty good too at the same time. But Love You More is one of my favourite songs of theirs, and I've been listening to it on repeat this month, so I had to talk about that one. Then I have a song by an artist that I didn't really love to start with. She actually was on the X Factor, and I know there's been a lot of things about her this month and last month, because I think she came out and said about how she'd been abused and how she'd been bullied and kind of just treated really badly in the music industry when she first sort of started out and since then, and that is Rebecca Ferguson. And the song that I've been really loving of hers this month is Nothing's Real But Love, and this song is just really, really beautiful. Rebecca's voice is incredible. I didn't love her on the X Factor. I think it's just because there was others I preferred, but actually her voice is so good that I definitely think she deserves everything that she's getting now, and I hope that she kind of can move away from the negativity that has been sort of chucked on her in the past. And then the final song is a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, but I do really like it, and it just, I don't know, it makes me feel quite summery, and that is Anaconda by Nicki Minaj. I do really like Nicki Minaj. I know some people probably don't, but I just think she's really, really great. Like her raps are always really funny, it's always really got a good beat to it, and just something about it just makes me want to keep listening. So then we're going to go and talk about booktubers, and I obviously love booktube, you know that. I have 3 again for booktubers, so let's get started. So my first favourite booktuber this month is one that I've talked about many, many times before, but specifically this month I think she's really just killing the game, and that is Lauren from Lauren in the Books. I think her channel this month has been one of my favourite things to do. I will come home at lunchtime on my lunch break from work, and I will always sit and watch one of her videos while I have my lunch. And yeah, I just think she's really, really great. I think her videos are just very uplifting. She does all different types. She does do mostly book videos, but there are the odd kind of other video thrown in. She's done clothing hauls and cruelty-free challenges, and she does a really great series called Lauren and the Babes, which is about like her talking to women in her real life about things that affect them every day, and I just adore her channel. I think it's amazing, and I will link her below, but you probably already know about her. Then I have another channel which I only recently found, and this is Diary of a Reader, and it's her reading vlogs that I adore. I watched a couple like over this month, and I've just really enjoyed them. I think that she just seems very real and very like down to earth. She really kind of, she doesn't sort of try to hide things, or she doesn't try to sugarcoat things. Like I think the one that I watched recently, her nephews had come to visit and she was like, they're too stressful for me and I need to like not and yeah, I just thought that was really good, and I love her channel, and yeah, she's just really great. And then the third one is actually a girl who commented on my video, and I then found her from that, and I've watched a few of her videos, and I think her channel is amazing. She's I think she's only like quite recently started BookTube, because she's only got like maybe 9 or 10 videos on there, which all of them are amazing, and that is The World of Books, and I think her channel is great. She did a Books I Hate video, which I thought was really good, because I think a lot of the time when we talk about books we don't like, we can be quite negative, and her video wasn't really negative in that way. Like she was like, yeah, okay, I don't like these books, but actually some people might, and I don't think she was like shooting anyone down or kind of telling anyone that you shouldn't like these books. Like she was just saying these are the reasons why I didn't particularly enjoy them, and yeah, I think her channel was amazing. She's reads books that I'm quite interested in as well, so I always find it interesting to hear other people who have similar tastes to me. Next up I have my top 3 YouTubers, and again I watch lots of YouTube as well as just BookTube, so I have quite a range. This month the first one I want to talk about is Hannah Witten, and Hannah has been somebody that I've watched for quite some time. She talks about a lot of different important topics. She has a series that I loved that's called, let me get it right, The Hormone Diaries, where she talks about, like when she first started, I think she came off the pill and she was on about that, and then she talked about getting the coil fitted, and she's talked about the pill, and she's talked about did her video with her mum about what the things her mum did when she was growing up, and I really just like her videos. She in December went through quite a traumatic surgery and had to have her bowel removed, so she's now got a stoma bag, and she's done lots of videos talking about that, which, like I said before in a previous video, I work as a dispenser, so I always find it interesting to see, like I have dispensed bags and things for people before, and but I don't really know too much about them, so I find it really interesting to see sort of when I dispense them what actually happens to them next. So that's really fascinating. She recently had to undergo another bit of surgery, and she did a video talking about like post-traumatic stress disorder, and also she did a video, the last video I watched of hers was a financial video talking to somebody about like money and how to deal with that, and I just think she really talks about important topics and things that like really actually matter. Then I have a channel which again is somebody who commented on my video, and I discovered their channel, and this is Vino Venitas. I really hope I've said that right. And this is a guy who does stand-up poetry. Is it called stand-up poetry? Slam poetry? Oh, I don't know. It's like spoken word poetry, that's what it is. And I've watched some of his and I've really enjoyed watching them. It's not something I normally watch. I don't really watch like spoken word poetries or anything like that. It's not really my thing, but I actually really enjoyed his, and I watched 2 of them really stood out to me. One of them was talking about somebody who cheated, and he was sort of talking as if he was the person who had cheated and what he would say to somebody, and I commented on the video because I said this really made me angry, but he was basically saying any emotion that he can make somebody feel makes him feel better and like makes him feel good. So I was like, actually he did really like succeed in that. And the other one was about a contract, as if he was drawing up a contract with somebody he wanted to be in a relationship with, and their kind of dynamic, and I really enjoyed that one as well. So yeah, I've really just liked his videos this month. And then the final YouTuber that I want to talk about is actually a pair of sisters who are go by the channel name 11th Gorgeous, and this is Tracy and Stephanie. They live in America, I believe, and I've always watched their videos from a long time ago, but I've specifically really liked them recently, and I just think they're really interesting. They're a really great couple of girls, and I really like going back and watching their old videos as well. They do kind of Ipsy and Birchbox and Glossybox like unboxings and kind of comparing them and like telling you which ones they think are most important and like work better, and I just really like their channel. I think they're just really upbeat and they just make me laugh. Then my favourite TV show this month has been a bit of a morbid one, and like I said, I've said before that I have this kind of morbid fascination about like true crime and that sort of thing, and this is actually called Britain's Darkest Taboos, and it's on Netflix. I think there's 5 seasons and I'm currently halfway through season 3, and it's basically, each episode is based on a case of familial crime in the UK, where somebody's done something horrendous. For example, I think the last one I watched was about a man who was in a relationship with a woman and basically was very abusive towards her and then towards their children, and he actually murdered their 7-year-old son and their 25-year-old daughter, basically to get back at her because she broke up with him. And like how horrendous some of these things are. Like I said, every case is a completely different case every episode, and I just like, it actually baffles me as to why, like how there are that many people who do such horrible things in the world. And I know that obviously not everything that happens is on these episodes, and I just think it literally shocks me every time I watch it. And I feel for the people, because they actually have the people involved. Like for example, in that one, the brother of the two children killed, and also the mother are actually talking, and they're talking through it. And I think they're so brave to do that. I love that, and I just I really enjoy watching it. But then I also kind of, enjoy is a weird word to use, I think, in that situation. But I am fascinated by it, I guess, is kind of more the right phrase. And then the last category I'm going to talk about is YouTube videos, and I have 3 again this month because, like I said, it's difficult to narrow down when I watch so much YouTube, to narrow it down to just 3 individual videos. But the first one I want to talk about is actually a review video by one of my favourite booktubers from last month's favourites video, and that's Books Like Woe. I love her channel, I've mentioned this before, but she did a review on the book Dread Nation, but I adored the video that she made because she's very succinct, and she knows, she has really researched it, and she's obviously really read it and kind of got some really interesting points from it. But I also don't think she sugarcoats anything. Like she can talk about the fact that she loved the book and still talk about the things that were negative about it or the things that she's criticising about it, but she still can love it, and I think that's great. Like, being able to talk about both sides is amazing, and I just think her videos generally are really great. She does a lot of review videos, and she's one of the only YouTubers who's I actually watch their book reviews, because a lot of the time I think people kind of rush them. Like, that's why I don't make book review videos, because I never can say everything I want to say, but I always feel like she's very, very like complete, and she talks about everything. Then the next one I really liked was by another bookish channel, Kate's Book Date, and she did a weekly vlog that I watched. She does weekly vlogs, I think, regularly, but there was a specific one I watched that was about she got the cover for her book was like finalised, and her book had a cover, and how excited she was for that. And I also really like the fact that in her book, her reading vlog, she also talks about her writing, because although I'm not a writer myself, I find the whole process really fascinating. And so when she's talking about how much she's writing and kind of where she is with it and how excited she is, that just amazes me, and I find it so interesting. I love her channel anyway. I watched a lot of her videos, but specifically her weekly vlog this month was really, really great. And again, I'll link all these videos below. The last video I want to talk about is a bit of a weird one, because I don't have children. I specifically don't have a baby. And so this might be a bit of a weird one, but I love this channel, and I watch a lot of like mummy vloggers and parent vloggers and family vloggers, and so for some reason this video came up on my feed and I clicked on it and I loved it, and I'm going to talk about it here. And that is a video from the channel Mum. Again, love this channel, watch like every video they do, and this was a video called something like How to Dress Baby in Hotter Weather. And although, like I said, I don't have a child, and yeah, I found the whole video really interesting. It was really good. It's very, very informative. They talk about basically how to, because I can only imagine how difficult it must be to actually like dress your child appropriately, because it's so hot, but you don't want them to be like, have a lot of skin on show, because obviously they might get sunburnt, etc. And I just think it's really interesting and really informative. So if you are a mum or a dad or family member of a baby, definitely watch that video, because I feel like it really, really helped me, and I don't even have a child, so when I do, hopefully I'll be completely prepared. So yeah, I would very much recommend those. Like I said, I'll link everything below that I've talked about today. I hope that you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let me know what your favourites are this month, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!